What's up, everyone? Welcome to the January 11th edition of the new NBA Bet Pro video. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And today we are going to walk through four of the best bets for tonight's NBA slate using the Bet Pro model that we have available on the Stochastic website. If you are not familiar with this model, if this is the first time you've seen this video, we'll do a quick walkthrough here at the beginning. This is the new prop betting model that we have live on the website, and it's a very useful tool if you are betting props. Doesn't really matter what your experience level is either. There's certainly different ways that you can use it. Looking at the tool in general, so here we have a best bets tab. This is going to just show you all of the top bets from a variety of sites. For example, right now it has Aaron Gordon under 7.5 rebounds on FanDuel being the best bet available. But this is a quick way to see, if you have bankrolls on multiple sites and it's obviously time consuming to go through all of the player props on those sites. This is a quick way to just see what is rising to the top using our data. This is the same projections that it's run by the same projection team as our DFS projections. And using those projections, you can see what is moving to the top. Similarly, if you're not someone that has a bankroll on every sports betting site or every sports book, you can search by the sites where you do have money. So, you can pull up FanDuel and see the best bets. You can pull up DraftKings and see the best bets. That goes for, any of these sites where you would have money. So again, you can just save yourself time that way. Let our projection people do the work for you, and then you can very quickly get that money down. And also, if you have not signed up yet for new users, we are offering a 7-day free trial for this tool. So sign up, take advantage of that, get familiar with it. Use it to hopefully make some money over the course of the next week. It should pay for itself after that as well. A lot of good stuff here. We also, you can see the yellow here on Trey Jones, for example. Most recent addition that we added to this is that we note when there are prominent players, prominent teammates questionable. So, for example, here you have Trey Jones under points listed as a very good bet on BetMGM, but we know that Keldon Johnson is questionable today for the Spurs. He's currently projected in, so if he were to be ruled out, this probably wouldn't be a good bet. So typically you're going to want to hold off on those. Again, it's just an easy way to see what bets you actually should be making using this tool. And then going through the tool, the four key pieces of information that you get: your win percentage is, how often the bet is projected to win. The expected value is your ROI, your expected ROI on the bet. But then these last two, I think, are really useful. The S bet percentage, it's always difficult to manage your bankroll in any sort of betting situation, any sort of wagering situation. This recommends what percentage of your bankroll you should place on each wager given the expected ROI and the expected win percentage. And then the SEV is the percentage by which your bankroll would be expected to grow should you invest the SBET percentage. So it basically has everything that you need here. And now, as we have been doing, we're going to go through BetMGM, Caesars, DraftKings, and FanDuel and take a look at what we currently have as the best bets on this site, or on each site rather. Starting with BetMGM, Naji Marshall over 2.5 assists at -110. We have him projected for 3.3 assists, 55% chance of going over 2.5. We have an expected ROI on this bet of about 6%. It's recommended that you bet about 5.2% of your bankroll, and your bankroll would be expected to grow by 0.22%. Moving over to Caesars, again, we're ignoring this Trey Jones piece because of the Keldon Johnson news. Grayson Allen comes in as the top bet that doesn't have injury news. Over 1.5 assists at -174. We have him projected for 2.7 assists tonight. So we have a 67% chance of winning this bet. Of course, the -174 odds lower the ROI a bit, even though we have a 67% chance of winning. But we still have an expected ROI of about 5.3%. We recommend betting 6.6% of your bankroll, and your bankroll is expected to grow by 0.23%. Now, before we move on to DraftKings and FanDuel, again, as a reminder, if you are a new user, sign up and you get 7 free days of access to this tool to use it on your prop betting. Take advantage of that. Now, moving back to DraftKings, again, Trey Jones at the top, ignoring that for now. Aaron Gordon, under 6.5 rebounds, +120. We have him projected for 6.2 rebounds, 48% chance of winning this bet, and it is plus money, like I said. You have a 7.8% expected ROI. It's recommended that you wager about 4.6% of your bankroll, and you're expected to see your bankroll grow by 0.23%. And finally, wrapping it up with FanDuel, that Aaron Gordon bet is at the top. That it's under 7.5 rebounds here, minus 113, as opposed to over or under 6.5 at plus 120. But that is the top bet here. Since we already talked about that one, we'll skip over that. We have the Trey Jones bet next. Naji Marshall, we already talked about. Al Horford and Jason Tatum, we have Marcus Smart questionable and Robert Williams questionable for the Celtics. So we're going to ignore those bets for right now. We're also going to not talk about this Saddiq Bey one because we don't have a Detroit Pistons injury report yet, so it's not highlighted, but there is a ton of injury news that we're going to be waiting on for the Pistons. I don't want to be taking unders on that team when they could be very, very shorthanded. So now we're down to Kevin Porter Jr., over 2.5 3-pointers. That has a 49.9% chance of winning. It is plus 112. You have an expected ROI of 5.9%. We recommend betting about 3.7% of your bankroll, and your bankroll should be expected to grow by 0.14%. So to recap, the top 4 bets by site, starting at BetMGM, over 2.5 assists for Naji Marshall at minus 110. At Caesars, over 1.5 assists for Grayson Allen at minus 174. At DraftKings, we ignored Aaron Gordon, under 6.5 rebounds at plus 120. And then FanDuel, we ignored a lot of the stuff at the top because we've already talked about Aaron Gordon and Naji Marshall. Those are obviously still good bets on FanDuel as well. Trey Jones, the Spurs are dealing with Keldon Johnson being questionable. The Celtics have questionable players. The Pistons are going to have questionable players once their injury report comes out. So we have Kevin Porter Jr. over 2.5 3-pointers at plus 112. Good luck with all your bets tonight, everyone.